Hi, I'm Chris Malta. Welcome to a short preview of my eBiz Insider workshop video series. Selling online is about search. The only way people can find something online is if they're searching for it. When they purposely search for products to buy, they have to use a search engine. If you want your website to be found online, you need to understand how people search and how the search engines work. How the search engines work also affects what you sell on your website, and it's critical that you understand this. When we deal with search engines in business, we always focus on Google. More than 75% of all searches are done on Google, and all the other search engines follow what they do. Search engines have been around since the early 90s, but the way the search engines work changed radically in 2011 with the introduction of Google's Panda update. Before 2011, search engines were just noun comparison engines. They crawled, meaning read through, all the websites they could find and looked for words and phrases that described a person, a place, or a thing. Nouns. Those words and phrases are called keywords. The search engines rely on the words on the pages of your site to tell them what your site is about. Those search engines were very basic back then compared to what they are now. So from the mid-90s until 2011, you could build a website that sold everything under the sun. And each of your site's individual pages stood a decent chance of ranking in the search engines on their own individual merit. Ranking well in the search engines means your product sales pages get found by shoppers who search for what they want to buy. Let's say you had car care products, cookware, sporting goods, and plush toys on your site back in the mid-2000s, and you had one page on that site selling squeegees. If you had the word squeegee on that page, say 34 times, and your closest competitor had it 23 times, basically you won. Your page would rank better and be found more often. Yes, there were more ranking factors, of course, but things were very basic back then. Google's search engineers worked for years to build an algorithm that could understand much more about how people actually communicate. They finally figured it out, and that was the Google Panda update in 2011. Now, Google not only understands nouns, it understands verbs, adverbs, pronouns, adjectives, and more. It understands interrogatives, so it knows what questions are. It understands syntax and grammar, so it knows when pages are written well, which is important to Google. This allows Google, and now all the other search engines, to locate much more targeted and focused information on the exact subject of a person's search. Google's mission is to return the most informative, relevant, and timely websites that relate to the exact subject that a person searches for. Remember, people can only search one word or phrase at a time. Websites that have scattered, unrelated words and phrases on their pages are not focused on just one subject. So now that it can tell the difference, Google no longer likes websites that aren't entirely focused on a single subject and won't rank any of their pages well in that search engine. That means you can't build a site that sells all kinds of different things anymore. Your site must focus on one thing and one thing only if you ever expect to rank in the search engines. In the nearly 800 live workshops I did over the years, nearly all of the attendees that were having huge problems ranking their sites had sites with scattered and unrelated words and phrases on their pages. Who determines whether those words or phrases are scattered and unrelated? Google does. Of course, there's just one problem with that. Google is not a human being. It's a computer program. So while we understand that baseball, basketball, hockey, and lacrosse products are all sporting goods, Google doesn't understand that. According to Google, words that describe baseball are related to other words that describe baseball. Words that describe basketball are related to other words that describe basketball, and so on. That means you can't sell all kinds of sporting goods on the same website. Too many unrelated words. The site will never be ranked and will never be found online. But you can build a site that sells only baseball products or only basketball products, for example. Again, this is all about search, and that's how search works. So once more, search engines now rank sites that are authorities on one subject only, according to Google's understanding of the relevant words surrounding that subject. You cannot succeed with marketplace sites that try to be everything to everybody. You cannot succeed with community sites that give artists, for example, a place to sell all kinds of different artwork. You cannot succeed with themed sites that sell, for example, everything eco-friendly or everything made in America. Google just doesn't get it. A successful website must be only about one tightly focused subject that Google understands if you ever want it to be found by your customers online. Those nasty junk marketers will tell you that you can sell all kinds of scattered products all day long. When that doesn't work, they'll sell you thousands of dollars worth of junk tools and services that they claim are supposed to fix that problem, except they won't, and you'll fail. Please take this very seriously. It's extremely important to remember. Got it? Excellent. Let's move on. And that's the short preview